Greetings and welcome. This is the New Thought Media Network. I am Ken Ludwig, and this is the Vibrant Living Hour that you are watching right now. Hope this day finds you safe, healthy, and happy, and that you are just doing your best, living your best life, no matter what it is, no matter where you are, no matter what you're doing, what your endeavors are. I just hope it is your best thing you've got going on. I feel a little cockeyed here, a little crooked. I don't know. I am a little crooked, so that's the way it works. Anyway, so the world turns, right? The world keeps going. Everything keeps spinning. We got lots of interesting things going on in the world, lots of things to distract us, to pull us away from who we are, what we want to be, what we want to accomplish in the world. Not everybody is tuned in, if you will, is able to actually be their best self, to try and hang on one second here. I'm just I guess okay. There we go. All right. On one page, I wasn't live there, so I had to go back and go make sure I went live. Now I'm live there. So hi there. For those of you who are watching on my personal Facebook page, this is the Vibrant Living Hour. I'm Ken Ludwig. This is the New Thought Media Network you're watching here. And as always, I'm wishing everybody the best possible life they can live right here, right now, each and every day, whatever it is you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish. I hope it just feels like your best effort, like the best you can do with whatever it is. And there's so much going on in the world, so much negativity, so much divisiveness in the world. It's really, really hard to stay centered, to feel anchored in a place where you are you all the time, to not be angry, to not be pissed off, to not be argumentative, to not get involved in, and I got some crazy stuff going on here in my glasses, not be involved in the world's distress, in the world's entanglements, the world's distractions. To not be involved in those is not an easy thing to do. And I know, I'm kind of a political animal. I have a really a big challenge in my life of not getting too terribly caught up in all of the political angst that's going on, not only here in this country, but around the world. There's a lot of crazy out there, a lot of crazy. By the way, I say this every week. If you're out there, I can see that there are people watching. Please make a comment, say hi. I don't necessarily see the comments for all of the different places where I stream the show, but if you're out there and you make a comment, I will definitely get to it after the show by going to the page that you're on and you're making the comment on. But I can see you're out there. So if you feel like making a comment or asking a question, go for it. That's what I'm here for. So one of the ways that I deal with the vicissitudes of life, if you will, the things that go on in the world, the challenges, the daily challenges of just life, not even those big picture things I'm just talking about, not the politics and the world events and inflation that's a global problem, and the divisiveness in this country, but that divisiveness is literally going on in almost every country, because there is this great divide between people who are looking for democracy and liberty and people who are trying to move us into kind of much more of an authoritarian kind of government, or it's not really a government, it's being governed. And but I'm not going to go there. I mean, I don't want to get involved in the politics, but that's part of the stressors that are going on in our lives. And the thing that I do is what I refer to as DSP, and that's the subject of the show. DSP. DSP is daily spiritual practice, and I'll tell you a quick story. Years ago, I was teaching in the teen church at Mile High Church in Lakewood, Colorado, and I was teaching the teens. It was great. I taught them metaphysics once a week, and I tried to get them into the habit of recognizing that one of the great ways to solve problems was through daily spiritual practice. And I would ask them questions once in a while. So how do you conquer that? How do you transcend that kind of situation? and somebody would say or not say daily spiritual practice, I would fill in the blank. And one day, a young fellow, Dennis Manguso, I'll never forget him, and I always promised him I would give him credit for this. I asked the question, and he said, DSP, Ken. And I said, Dennis, I'm going to use that forever, but I will always give you credit. DSP is daily spiritual practice. And in many ways, it's what I refer to it as, but it's how you start your day. It's what do you do to get yourself launched? What do you do to move into the day and feel vibrant, feel alive, feel that you can conquer anything, that nothing is going to bother you? That's a great intention. That's not necessarily the way the day unfolds, but it's a possibility. And exactly right, Donna, both. But what I wanted to do is just tell you what my DSP is. And again, daily spiritual practice. I don't care what you call it. It's how you start your day. And here's my practice. I don't know, this is a very full day. Not everybody can do all of this every day, and I can't do all of it every single day, but here's how it starts. I have a series of affirmations that I do before I'm going to get out of bed. I don't do it the minute I open my eyes. I do it just before I'm going to get out of bed. I do some stretches in bed that don't take me very long. They take me, they probably take me 45 seconds a minute. And they're stretches for my lower back and my legs before I get out of bed. Once I do that, then it's kind of, the old wash the face, brush the teeth. My first thing is to then have 2 16-ounce glasses of water so that I have a quart of water in my body to start the day immediately. Now, I've said this many, many times in the past, and I want you to understand this. It's important. Hydration is hugely important to your overall health. Every single function in your body, every chemical reaction in your body, every bit of digestion, every bit of circulation, all of it is catalyzed by water. And when we go to sleep at night, we are going to spend however long, 6 hours, 8 hours, 9 hours. We're going to just be laying in bed, and we're going to be breathing that whole time. And we are going to lose a great deal of moisture from our body just in respiration and breathing. We're going to lose moisture. So when we wake up in the morning, whether we know it or not, feel it or not, we are actually dehydrated. So I start the day with 2 16-ounce glasses of water. I have a couple of nutritional things that I take first thing in the morning too with those first 2 glasses of water. One of which is something maybe I'll talk about on another show. It's been a life changer for me, this particular nutritional. By the way, you're going to say again, everybody who's out there, I can see you're watching. Make a comment, say hi, ask a question, whatever you want. That's what I'm here for. So then this is really funny. One of the things that gets me out of bed first thing in the morning is the thought of that first cup of coffee. Now, I drink a lot of coffee. I probably drink more coffee than most. Maybe I drink more coffee than I should. But I drink my coffee in a different kind of way. I grind my own beans. I have this thing behind me here, this cloth, and it just fell off the chair. So we'll just move that somewhere else. I grind my own beans. I use 3 little scoops of decaf beans, 2 scoops of regular beans. So basically it's a 60-40 mix decaf to regular. I grind those beans up and I make my coffee 1 cup at a time. I make them in an espresso machine. I do that for a couple of reasons. Number one, I think I just get a richer, creamier cup of coffee. I get the foam on the top that you don't get when you're making it in a Mr. Coffee machine. And when you're not letting the coffee soak in that water in the filter, you get far less acid in the cup. So it's easier on your stomach. And because I do the 60-40 split with the decaf, I can drink 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day, pretty much every day, and enjoy it and not have it make me jittery or jumpy or get that, the caffeine flash and crash. So that's, and some mornings, that's what gets me out of bed. I'm like, oh boy, can't wait for that first cup of coffee. Now I do all those other things leading up to it, but that first cup of coffee is maybe a reason to live for me. So I have that first cup of coffee. Now, in different orders on different days, I will do the bigger pieces of DSP, my daily spiritual practice. The first piece of that is meditation. I've talked about meditation on the show many, many times. Meditation to me is the key piece in building a personal resilience to the world, to what's going on. I can go into my meditation. I can be at peace. I can see the things that I want to unfold as my life that day. I can just really enjoy the quiet, the solitude, the quieting of the mind. And that's what meditation is to me. It's quieting the noise. Okay. Now, what just for perspective's sake, to me, the noise is everything. Everything, literally everything. It's your car, it's your spouse, it's your kids, it's your parents, it's your job, it's your computer, it's the book you're reading, it's the radio station you listen to. It's all the noise. And meditation gives you the opportunity to quiet the noise. You do not shut your brain off, and that's a whole nother workshop, folks. It's impossible to shut your brain off. I mean, I've taught meditation to a lot of people, and particularly women say, I can't stop my mind from thinking. And my answer to that is that's not possible. Your mind is an instrument of thinking. It's going to think no matter what. And the objective of meditation is to have a focus, if you will, of your attention that will take you away from the thinking, whether it's a mantra, a sound. Some people listen to music for their meditation, whatever it is. You just go back to that gently without criticizing yourself or making yourself wrong. Now, in my meditation, I also do a lot of affirmations at the end of it. I do affirmations during the meditation. I do visualization during the meditation of the things I want to experience in my life. I do prayer work at the end of it. And I make sure that I include in that prayer work lifting the consciousness of anyone and everyone who is in need of having their consciousness lifted around whatever, their mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical well-being. That's also part of that whole daily spiritual practice idea. Or I'm sorry, my meditation practice. Now my meditation practice this morning, I had things, this morning my mind was very busy. I had things I needed to get done, and I had a tough time staying focused. My meditation this morning was like 34 minutes long. And I know that because I do have music that I play, helps I have a hard time with background noise. I have a tough time with dogs barking in traffic we live in a cul-de-sac, there's no traffic, but when I can hear whatever, it distracts me. Lawnmowers, all that stuff is distracting to me. So I play some music to help kind of have a calming, soothing background. That helps me a great deal. But it also helps me because I can see how long the music was playing and how long I meditated. Now, a lot of mornings, my meditation will go an hour and 10, 11 minutes. So somewhere between that 34 minutes that was today and an hour and 10 minutes is what my meditation and prayer work looks like. Now, when I'm done with that, the next most important thing in my life is exercise, is physical movement. Positive motion leads to positive emotion. You just do so many things positively for your body. You build up your expression of serotonin. You absolutely increase the positive results of epigenetics, where you are actually your physical activity is telling your body to fire certain genes in a more positive way than they might be firing if you were sitting on a couch having a beer and a cigarette. So that you are expressing genetically a better, higher self. That's simple. Now, my exercise has changed over the years, and this is important to me because Vibrant Living, the name of this show, is kind of a full half brother, as they used to say in the horse racing business. It's a full half brother of my Facebook page, Vibrant Aging, which maybe some of you are watching this show on. As I have aged, my ability to exercise has changed. And as my body has changed, some of the exercises I do have morphed and changed, and some have been added, some have been deleted. And since we have moved and 95% of our belongings are in storage, that includes my weight bench, my barbell, and my free weights, as well as my Bowflex. So what I have is some dumbbells. I basically have a set of 5s, 10s, 15s, 25s, and 35s. I have 5 sets of dumbbells that my beloved Lisa and I both use. I have my yoga mat. I have my back roller, and that's pretty much all I have for my exercising stuff. But I can't do weights every day the way I did when I was younger. Just very simply because at 71 years old, I need more recovery time. So my exercise routine has started to look like this. Day one is body weight exercises. Body weight exercises are squats, push-ups, crunches, leg raises, back extensions. A new thing that I've just discovered, Pike Push-Ups. Pike Push-Ups are, you put yourself in a downward dog position. Okay, most of you, I'm assuming, know what that is. If not, just Google downward dog. You'll see what it looks like. And then you do a push-up where your hands are like out here. You're lowering your, like, basically your forehead to the floor from the downward dog position. It's an incredible push-up for upper body, which is truly an amazing exercise as far as I'm concerned. So that's day one. Day two is going to be dumbbells, and my dumbbells are going to be, I'm going to do curls, I'm going to do presses. I do, because those of you who've watched the show for any amount of time know that I've been experiencing some issues with my discs in my back and my sacroiliac joints in my where my spine joins my pelvis. So I do presses sitting down, and I do two ways. I do them like this, and I do them like this. This way is just a greater range of motion, and because you're turning your arms, and this way is just all much more just shoulders. Hi, Cindy, how are you? I'm glad you stopped by to say hi. Anyway, so I do some bench presses, and I do them on the floor. And one of the reasons you do them on the floor is, as you get older, you have to be very conscious of your shoulder joints. Shoulder joints are a big deal. My right arm here, I have ruptured long ago, years ago, ruptured the right bicep tendon. So there's no tendon that holds my bicep muscle to my shoulder. And that was a direct result of abuse with lifting weights. And part of that was bench presses, where you were taking your arms back too far. Or I was taking my arms back too far. You weren't, I was. And when you're just putting more stress on the shoulder. So I do those where the floor stops my arms from going back any farther. Again, this is because I don't have my equipment. All I have is the dumbbells. And there's several other exercises. I do flies, bent over. I do, what do you call these things? Single arm back raises. I do several different things with the weights. And then the third day is at least a 2-mile walk. And it's a 2-mile walk at a really fast pace. Now, the most important thing I'm going to tell you about the exercise phase of daily spiritual practice is the final phase, which is stretching. If you don't do any stretching, you're going to get old way faster than you want to. And I'm here to tell you that if you're somebody in your 20s, 30s, 40s who exercises, who works out, who just is very physically active, you had best be stretching, because if you're not, you're going to get old fast. Your joints are going to get stiff and tight because your muscles are going to just basically tighten up on you. That's what happens. And you need to stretch those muscle fibers out so that those muscle fibers can move back and forth at ease. And if you don't stretch them, they're just going to get tighter and tighter and tighter and tighter. Now, I'll tell you a story. When I was in my early 40s, I had just gotten sober. I was sober maybe 3 or 4 years. And I was working out with weights very, very hard. One of the things I did when I first got sober was I went back to a very dormant weightlifting routine that I'd started when I was in my very early teens. And I hadn't done it for many years. I always had weights, but I really kind of looked at them most of the time. I didn't do anything with them. I went back to weightlifting. And what happened was I didn't know anything about stretching. Now, I was already in my early 40s, and I was loving the weightlifting. I was getting great results weightlifting, but I couldn't lift my arms past here. And I couldn't run from my front door to the driveway because my muscles were so tight. And I had a young fellow who worked for me who said, I'll tell you what, I'll make you a deal. He was into martial arts. He said, I will teach you how to stretch if you teach me something about lifting weights. I said, deal. So we made a deal, and his name was Jimmy Harpo. It was Jimmy Hardgrave or Hardgrove, but we called him Harpo. So Harpo, wherever you are on this planet, thank you for the stretching exercises or the lessons. And over the years, I've learned a little bit of yoga. I have a dear, dear friend in Colorado, who Erica Teal. Erica Teal started her own practice called Stroga, which is a combination of yoga and stretching. For those of you out there who don't know a whole lot of yoga poses, she combines the blessings of yoga poses with some just real serious stretching exercises. So, and I'm really probably someone who does a whole lot more stroga than I do yoga, because I'm not a good enough yogi to do a lot, but I can use some of the thoughts of the pose. I can do child pose and downward dog and warrior poses. I can do those things. I probably don't do them very well, but what I am very conscious of is that I am stretching while I'm doing it. And stretching has changed my life, especially as I've gotten older. You know, you wind up with a little bit of arthritis here and there, arthritis in my knees, arthritis in my hands a little bit. And stretching makes a world of difference with that arthritis. So that is my daily spiritual practice, pretty much the whole thing. Now, that can take quite a bit of time. Might be more time than a lot of people have. What you really need to do is kind of maybe condense the time. I mean, nobody who wants to meditate needs to follow my method and meditate for an hour. You know, all the great meditation teachers in the world say meditate for 20 minutes, morning and night. I've never been able to master the evening thing, but you know, I do the big meditation in the morning. Now, if you can meditate for 10 or 15 or 20 minutes, trust me, it'll make a difference. And if you can figure out a time to exercise, it doesn't have to be in the morning, it can be in the evening. Some people get better results working out in the evening. Although I will suggest that if you work out in the evening, you take a shower before you go to bed, because sometimes you get energized and it'll interfere with your sleep. But the idea of that daily spiritual practice will help you to build up what I said earlier in the show, the resilience, the ability to deal with life at every level, at any level. You know, now in business, particularly in my world, in the affiliate marketing world, we talk about what's DMO. DMO is daily method of operation. And in my mind's eye, DMO and DSP are akin to one another. If you are going to set your sights on accomplishing anything in this world, whether it is just seeking that next highest vision of yourself through meditation and exercise, through DSP, or it is to expand yourself into that next highest vision of you as a business person, as an entrepreneur, as a salesperson, as whatever it is that you're doing, you need a daily method of operation, which to me is a very spiritual thing. Your daily method of operation is a spiritual practice, whether you want to call it that or not. So whatever you do to accomplish the things you want to accomplish, if you do them on a regular basis, if you have a daily method of operation, then that becomes your discipline. Now, discipline, if you've probably heard this from me before, if you've watched the show, discipline is one of my favorite words. The root word of discipline is disciple. And a disciple is someone who takes on a set of practices and principles for their own personal betterment. There you go. DSP and DMO. It's about being disciplined. It's about creating a discipline. It's about being a disciple of the things you want to accomplish. And if you look at the etymology of the word disciple, it comes from the Latin, from discipulus, which is student, and discere, which is to learn, which is just simply you become a student of your own life. And if you're a student of your own life, then DSP and DMO make nothing but sense. As I've said before here, you know, you folks, I can see you're out there watching. If you want to make a comment or ask a question or just say hi, I'll try to acknowledge you, and I'm glad you joined us. So yeah, it's a way for each and every one of us to kind of compartmentalize, if you will, compartmentalize life, to make life a little bit simpler, as opposed to going off in a million different directions and catch as catch can with everything, to just simply be focused. This is what I will do every single morning to start my day. And then this is what I will do every single day afterwards to accomplish the things that I wish to accomplish. There's a great expression from, Charles Fillmore, I believe. And it's one of my favorites. And it's one of the affirmations I say before I get out of bed in the morning. I fairly sizzle with zeal and enthusiasm, and I go forth with a powerful faith to do the things that ought to be done by me today. So whatever it is you need to accomplish every day, you go about it from a different point of view than you did yesterday, because you're going to do something different today than you did yesterday. Unless you're doing the exact same thing, and if what you did yesterday to get there works, then continue doing it. But it gives us an opportunity to structure and to focus on what it is we want to accomplish. Now, as always, we teach what we need to learn. I need to be better at those things. And it's one of the reasons I'm talking about it today. I need to be better at DSP. I pretty much got down. I've been doing it for a very long time. I learned to meditate in 1978. I got sober in 1988. And since I got sober, meditation and daily spiritual practice has pretty much been a daily thing. Now, do I do it every day? No. I do it every day that it's possible. Some days, other things transcend my desire to do my DSP. Some days that's fun. Some days it's on a Sunday morning, my beloved Lisa and I will get up and go on a 3-mile hike around one of the lakes here in Raleigh, North Carolina. And meditation may not happen that day because I'm doing a different kind of DSP. I'm with Mother Nature, and nature, of course, to me is probably the ultimate place to be, to do that, to just take your spiritual self into another plane, Mother Nature. So that's what I have for you today. I don't want to belabor it. I'm going to treat myself to a minute, which I never do when I'm on the show, but I'm going to do it today. I want you to know a couple of things here. First of all, always remember that New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization. And you can go to ntmedia.org. That's newthoughtmedia.org, ntmedia.org. Click on donate, and we will be absolutely beyond thrilled to accept whatever your little heart desires to donate to us. Again, we live and breathe based on your donations. I want you to always know also that this show is brought to you by hempworks.com. And if you go to www.hempworks.com, my page is /Ken Ludwig, so that you go there. I want to tell you some things. This is my CBD. Now our CBD comes in 7 different flavors. It is 3 different concentrations: 500 milligrams, 750 milligrams, and 1500 milligrams. You can use whichever one you want. If you have real issues, the higher concentrations are better for you. And please, if you have any questions about that, always find me and ask me, because I'd be glad to tell you. But we have something that I think is really important to know. This is full spectrum CBD. In order to be legal across the country, must have no more than 0.3%. That's 0.3% THC in the bottle. It is literally undetectable to any kind of drug tests. And there is no, you can drink a 55-gallon drum of this and you're never going to get high. You'll probably die from something else, but it's not going to be because you got high. But we also, that's full spectrum. We also have broad spectrum. Broad spectrum has 0 THC, so there's absolutely nothing to detect. And if you're someone who takes a very serious, very sensitive drug test for work or something, then sometimes that broad spectrum works well. And once in a while, there's a very, very rare allergy to THC. So the broad spectrum would work for you as well. We have this thing called Relief. It's a topical cream. It is a combination of CBD. It's also got CBG in there. I don't know enough about CBG to talk about it. I can tell you all you want to know about CBD, but not much about CBG, although it is another cannabinoid that's getting a lot of buzz in the cannabis world, in the hemp world. And emu oil is in here as well. And I have used this. I just used some the last 2 nights in a row on a little bit of very annoying plantar fasciitis that I have. And I've been doing a lot of walking, been doing a lot of stuff on my feet. And I need a new pair of sneakers. They're actually on the way because my sneakers are shot. they're not supporting my feet the way they should. I have an incredible pair of flip-flops that support my feet in an extraordinary way, but they hurt the last 2 days, the bottoms of my feet. I put that relief cream on the bottoms of them, and it absolutely made an incredible difference in the pain level that I was experiencing. It just helped me go to sleep. I also had the night before last, the bottoms of my feet were cramping up for some reason, and I was trying to flex them, and they hurt. I put the relief cream on there, and that hurt stopped. One other thing, it's not part of HempWorks, that is also part of the same parent company's HempWorks, which is my daily choice, is daily sprays, and this one is sleep. I just want you to know I take that every night before I go to bed, and it helps me to sleep without question or doubt. It never, ever makes me feel hungover in the morning. Like, a lot of natural sleep remedies make you feel a little dopey. Never with the sleep spray. And the thing I love about it more than anything maybe is the fact that I can take it. If I wake up in the middle of the night for whatever reason and I can't get back to sleep, it helps me get back to sleep immediately. I love that. If you want to reach me, you can find me at teamrockitnow@gmail.com. You can also find me on my branded Facebook page, which goes hand in hand with the Vibrant Living Hour. It's called Vibrant Aging. You can find me and my beloved Lisa there as well. And I want you to remember this. Always remember the donate page for New Thought Media Network. And there's my email address again as well. So, as I said, that's it for me today. That's all I have for you. I hope you just have this is, a Thursday. I hope it's a tremendous Thursday for you. I hope everything that you require and desire in the world is becoming your reality. As always, I'm just immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I'm thrilled to be able to share time with you and that you pay attention to what I have to say. And I'm just incredibly grateful for that. I hope you will join me next Thursday and every Thursday. But until then, my friends, namaste.